Hello, everyone. I'm Jesus, and welcome to the next episode of the Road to Old School MTG. We have few packages here. Nothing big, definitely. I would say the only main thing is the big thing is over here. This seems to be the little care package that I was told I would receive from joining the Timmy Talks, Timmy the Sorcerer Patreon, right? So Timmy Talks, that whole channel, YouTube channel, was one of the big reasons why I got into old school in the first place. Definitely one of the main channels I would watch that inspired me to join the old school community because of the matches that he has on his channel. And so yeah, I made the leap recently to join as a Patreon, and I was told that I will be receiving, just his pens and things like that. On the front, there was no return send address, where it originally came from. But either way, I like to flip it around anyway, right? So I don't want to reveal that personal information. But so I didn't know what it was. I thought it was just one of my card packages, but then I see here, little Timmy Sorcerer icon sticker. So I'm assuming that's from him. And here I have two other packages, and I have, I think, one more coming up. It's not particularly big, so I might just, even though I'm not getting, I don't have it here as one of these packages. I'm going to show the listings of the purchase I made for that card, plus a few other cards from previously that were small, and I didn't want to make a whole video on that, right? But nonetheless, I just want to be thorough and give a full rundown of the things I get. Nonetheless, so let me jump into that first. So I'm just setting up my things here. Okay, so this purchase I made recently, 4 Concordant Crossroads. In a previous video, I bought the card Fast Bond, and I thought Fast Bond and Concordant Crossroads were like the same card, right? So basically, I mixed them up. But I did want Fast Bond, actually, the card, but it was for a different thing. But in the video, I mentioned that I wanted Fast Bond, quote unquote, actually Concordant Crossroads, because this is a great card. At least I figured this was a great card against to sideboard against the Abyss, because this Concordant Crossroads is an enchant world, and there can only be one enchant world in play. The Abyss is also an enchant world, right? So this is a great way to both destroy it and to be more aggressive with the creature heavy deck that I intend to play this with. And this is good also even beforehand, right? So I don't want to necessarily wait until the opponent casts the Abyss. I want to be proactive, so I would cast this first. So what this makes is all the creatures have haste, so they can immediately attack or use their abilities. And so that's a big deal, right? Because the Abyss, every upkeep you have to sacrifice a creature, artifact creature, and so as you play a creature, of course they have summoning sickness, right? So you can't play any creatures because it'll just die before you have a full turn with it to attack. Of course, this fixes that problem, but also it kills the Abyss as well, so you get a 2-for-1 effect out of it, right? But even so, just any deck that has the Abyss in it, right? They tend to be control type decks. Actually, now that I think about it, not always, because also the shops uses the Abyss as well. because Shops is just an all artifact creature deck. So the Abyss has no effect against their own creatures. So it's a good card to have. A lot of them have one in the main and then may have one or two more in the sideboard. Or they have none in the main, but they probably have some in the sideboard, right? So, Shops uses it a lot, and Shops definitely a more aggressive deck. But traditionally, the Abyss gets used for sideboard or sometimes main in control decks. So I would be proactive with this. If I can get this first turn, I would probably cast it, and then everything I bring out, boom, I can get fast damage. Because my decks, I do still have disenchants and so on, right? So this is not like this is the only way to deal with the Abyss in my deck that in my Atlantic deck that I intend to use this with. But it's definitely the best way to deal with the Abyss, right? It kills it, plus it makes my creatures have haste for just 1 mana, right? But at least now I'm envisioning it not just as a defensive card, but definitely offensive as well. And then here, this one is, I opened this up. There we go. So I bought just the graded Sisters of the Flame card because I am in the New York Old School group, and the group is called Sisters of the Flame. So I thought this would be cool because we tend to a lot of players tend to use some graded cards as drink coasters. So I figure, looks pretty cool. Plus, it does come in handy if you're going on to visit some with different friends, right? You want to, not damage their table and so forth. So I figure I needed one. So here it is. I'll show it a bit later also once I have my camera full image again. Other than that, yeah, that's all. This is from eBay. So I still have this to go. They're still coming in. I don't think it's either one of these two. Because this was the latest thing I bought, right? Because like I said, I made that mistake with Fast Bond thinking it was Concordant Crossroads, but I still want a Fast Bond anyway. It's a great card, and I do intend to use it for something that I want to try. But I'm still developing the idea, right? So I don't want to mention it too much yet. All right, so that's coming up. So I wanted to mention it mainly because I don't know if I'm going to actually make a whole video just on this card. I got 4 Chronicles heavy plate cards for 27, came out to 30, 34, 35 for 4 heavy plate, which is pretty decent. They tend to be a bit $10 or a bit more per card. So basically I got, for the price of 3, I got 1 free, right? I only intended to have 3 anyway, but I figured, hey, buy 3, get 1 free, so might as well have the full playset. All right, so that's still to come. I might or might not make a video just on it, because like I said, it's not a particularly huge shipment coming in for that. All right, so over here. So this is what I should be having. A playset of Psychic Purge from Legends Near Mint. So this card I actually wanted for my mono red Goblins deck, X-Points deck. So what this card does is whenever if it gets discarded by a card an opponent controls, this card deals 5 damage to that opponent. Like I said, mine is a mono red deck. Normally this card does 1 damage to any target, Psychic Purge. But I don't intend to splash blue. This is strictly a sideboard card against decks that use discard effects. Because my mono red deck is goblins, but also direct damage, right? So I want to do direct damage. I want to do as much damage as fast as I can. And I played against a mono black deck, and having those important cards discarded means that's less damage I'm dealing to the opponent. And so this one is basically a 2-for-1, right? So I don't have counter spells. Of course, they're gonna, if they cast a hem, I'm gonna get hemmed. But I can still get in that damage, and it'll be for free because I don't have to pay any mana to cast a spell. All right, so this is strictly just as a cyber card. Blight, actually, I'm creating a land destruction deck, and Blight seems like a good card for that. So also 4 near mints, 59 cents each. Second purchase was 136 each, and a full near mint of bought a full playset. So that's because it's from Legends, right? There was no reprint of this card. But Blight, this is a 4th edition, there were reprints. The ball lightning from a previous video, I had only gotten 1 ball lightning by mistake from the seller, but they made it up and right away, and they shipped me the 2nd ball lightning. So, and then they gave me a couple of freebies, but that was for more, standard, right? So those cards I'm not going to be using, but still, nonetheless, it was still nice of them to include some freebies, right? So that was already, I had already gotten. I got this shipment as well. So when I was making my mono red deck, I ran out of mountains, and I had to put like some. Actually, here it is. I had to put some Ice Age mountains to make up. So I bought a couple extra ones, and I already got this shipment. And then 4 Mana Clashes. Mana Clash is just a card that you flip a coin, or each player flips a coin. If it lands heads or tails, one of those, right? That player takes damage. If they land both heads at the same time, then you stop doing the effect. So you keep on doing the effect. So basically, I see this Mana Clash as and it costs 1 rare, right? It's as basically another way to lightning bolt an opponent, right? So, but you're definitely going to take some damage out of it as well. But so I bought this mainly for my mono red goblins deck, right? So right now, actually, I have 4, but I ended up not putting none of them currently, right? So I'm still going to test it out, see if, because now I have four ball lightnings in the deck instead. Previously only had 2. So I'm still debating whether I put it or not, right? But at least I wanted to have the option. So I've definitely been thinking about Mana Clash for a while now, and I just wanted to have it in case I ever wanted to use it. I already have it in my collection. And then I don't know if I opened these up in a previous video or not, but this is just, I think I did, yeah. Oh yeah, that's the fast one I received before. Yeah, and then I did get this counter spell eventually. So all right, so that just updates everything. So over here I should have 4 near mint second purchase, 4 near mint blights, and opening up the Timmy Talks envelope here. So that'll be the end one. So here is my Sisters of the Flame 8.5. Like I said, this is just a coaster, right? But I figure pretty nifty coaster. All right, so that's there. Let's open up some packages. So here, just a plain 1 envelope. I feel the receipt wrapped around the card, which is a good way to give additional padding. Little plastic top loader, the more flimsier ones, but at least also you can fit more cards without it being all stuffed in. And then here we have the blights. I really want to try out this deck of this new Landkill deck I'm developing. So this is also another X points deck. So I see the blights. A little business card, that's pretty nice. And here are the blights. 1, 2, 3, 4. They should be near mint condition. Yeah, near mint. Right. So blight 2 black, enchant land. If target land becomes tapped, destroy it at end of turn. So that's actually been errata. So now it immediately gets destroyed. So it's even better than I thought it was. Because I thought maybe, okay, so it taps, but then can you disenchant it? Because it doesn't die until end of turn, doesn't get destroyed until end of turn. So can you disenchant it? And then, but it's still in the stack. So I had some doubts about it. But like I said, there's an errata on it. The land immediately gets destroyed. So basically, it's a delayed sinkhole. So 4 sinkholes, 4 of these. Also have evil presence. That's the 1 black enchant land that turns any land into a swamp, right? So that doesn't destroy the land, of course, but it will still disrupt their mana base, right? Assuming they don't play black, or even if they play back, I'm still denying them of different colors if they're playing other colors, right? But if it's like a mono black deck or something like that, those will have no effect, right? But that's rare. Usually, people, and plus, people still have like Mishra's factories, right? So every deck can put factories in them nowadays. So usually, even in a mono black deck, there's still some targets for the evil presence, right? So it's usually not a totally dead card, but it can be, right? So, but blights are pretty strong card, right? So I'm happy with that. Near mint. All right, so over here, this should be the Psychic Purge. So plain white envelope. The receipt. Cover it up. I have a little extra. Yep, I see the Psychic Purge receipt name there. All right, 4 of them. Pretty good protection. But putting 4 in a sleeve, that's a little tricky. All right, 4 should be near mint. 2, 3, 4. Yep, near mint. So has a tiny bit of a scuff on it. Yeah, you can't really see. But I mean, that's really nitpicking. Right over the M over there. Yeah, it doesn't come out here. But that's nitpicking. It's basically, they're all near mints. Yeah, looks pretty good. All right, so 1 blue sorcery. Psychic Purge does 1 damage to any target. If a spell cast by opponent or a permanent under opponent's control causes you to discard this card, opponent loses 5 life. Effects that permanent or redirect damage may not be used to counter this loss of life. So they lose 5 life, right? So that's even better than damage. Of course, I gotta read May has been errated, right? So May doesn't do that anymore. May does it as damage. But either way, yeah, opponent loses 5 life or gets 5 life, 5 damage, and it's for free, right? So my mono red deck, I don't have Volcanic Islands, so I couldn't splash this and actually cast them even if I wanted to. If I had them, Volcanic Islands, then it'd be slightly better because then I could actually cast it for 1 damage. But as is, this is strictly for sideboard against discard type decks. All right, so now going over here to the Timmy Talks package. I'm assuming that's what it is. Welcome, Jesus, to the patron of Timmy Talks, and a little sorcerer image. So that's a little pins. Cheers, Timmy. Oh yeah, that is the pin. Nice. Really cool, right? So I'm very happy. I'm already participating in a Timmy Talks tournament. I already had some games in with some of the players there, and a lot of them are just from the regular online old school community, right? So I've dealt with a lot of these players previously. Some are brand new that I met, definitely, but some are just continuing, people that I've already knew from the community. All right, so Timmy Talks. So over here, the little flap opens up. A Timmy Talks sticker, nice. Ooh, that is dope. And then a Timmy the Sorcerer card that's been stamped. Is it on the card itself? Okay, it is on the card. That's good. That's what I wanted. Ooh, yeah. Got a little stuck on the ink. It's actually not coming out easy. Yeah, I think, yeah, just something sticky is making it not come out. Maybe I should just, I mean, I don't think, okay, there it is coming out. I'm glad that didn't really damage the ink image. That's pretty cool. Nice. All right, so yeah, Timmy signed and with the logo. Very cool. Sometimes I do like, think about making some kind of a deck that uses this card. So if I do, I might actually use this card itself. If not, it can go as a display. I have a little collection of some cards that I have displayed. So I think this would be a nice addition to that. All right, so great. So very happy to join the Timmy Talks group. I have these cards. And here I actually have a in-person tournament, old school tournament, and a lot of the some members from the New Jersey old school group are going to be attending. So I'm going to be playing some games there, testing out some cards, some decks, and definitely some of these cards. I think both of these different cards I'll be putting to use for tomorrow. And this as well. So this was a perfect time to get all these things right before I put them to use in tomorrow's tournament. All right. Thank you for watching.